My name is Lisa. I'm 32 years old. I'm from Australia. I was born in Sydney, but I grew up on the Gold Coast and then also lived in Melbourne. And now I'm a photographer and videographer at Tokyo Weekender magazine in Tokyo. So my journey to becoming a photographer was a little bit unique. I actually started photography when I was 27 years old, so I was kind of a bit later in life when I first picked up a camera. Before then I didn't really have any interest in photography. I was kind of a creative artistic person but didn't really know how to channel that. So I started photography just as a hobby, and then when I was 28 years old I moved to Tokyo, and moving from Australia to Japan was such a massive shift, and I didn't have any friends at the start in Tokyo, so a way for me to kind of get out there and explore was to take my camera with me and just practice taking photos. And then as I grew, I just started loving photography more and more, and then I realized that I really wanted to make that my career. And so during COVID I just buckled down and now I'm a full-time photographer. The second time I moved to Japan in 2020, I started working in a kids' daycare because at the time I didn't have a strong portfolio, I didn't speak any Japanese, and I didn't know anyone in the photography community. So then of course the world shut down in 2020, and I realized pretty early on that I had this really unique opportunity to really refine my skills and get my name out there while nobody else could come into the country. It was kind of like I realized that there was like a scarcity issue happening and I could take advantage of that, and especially as a female photographer. So all through 2020 and 2021 I would finish working at the daycare and I would go shooting. So I basically had a job after my job. I would go out shooting, I would give myself projects, I would try every type of photography and videography, whether it was like nighttime stuff, learning how to make reels, making mini documentaries, doing like portrait shoots with people. I wanted to experience as much photography as possible so that I could understand what I wanted to do. And so in doing that I was posting on Instagram, and I was lucky that people started seeing my Instagram and choosing to follow me, and I kind of suddenly and very randomly built this following of people, even though that was never my intention. But I did use Instagram as a marketing tool, and it's a very powerful and free marketing tool if you know how to use it. So I was kind of teaching myself constantly about social media marketing, personal branding. So my goal with all of that hard work that I did, was for somebody to find me. I thought I just need one person to find me and to give me a job. And that exactly happened. So my now boss found me on Instagram. He saw my skill set and what I was capable of. And also through Instagram, you can show people your personality as well, more than, you know, a portfolio or like a resume can. And so he basically offered me a job, and that's where I work now. So my work is inspired by a lot of different things, not just nature. I'm also really interested in human behavior. And so I also love to do a lot of street photography as well, because I like to capture, you know, people in, you know, beautiful or even absurd situations. And so I kind of just look for stories basically, or I look for a scene that makes my heart go like this. You know, I think when I shoot it's intuitive. I think I'm just looking for things that are a reflection of who I am and the way that I see the world. And I think I see the world in color. I see the world in kind of like a whimsical way. And I also really love absurd situations as well. So these are the things that I'm just naturally drawn to. And I'm also naturally drawn to light as well, where there's like a beautiful, you know, light source, where even if it's somewhere that's ordinary, it transforms it into something that's beautiful. And I think I want to be able to capture those ordinary things and show people how beautiful the world is. So this is the NiSi close-up lens, which I've actually used on my 70-300 lens. I was completely blown away at how incredible the macro capabilities are when using a zoom lens. I never expected that this filter could actually turn a zoom lens into a macro lens. So the other day I went for a walk in the afternoon to play around with it, and I found a dragonfly sitting by the river, and this dragonfly, no matter how close I got to it, it just stayed there. And so I was able to zoom up so incredibly close on this dragonfly that you could see like the little bits of like fur on its back. I'd never seen anything like it before. You could zoom right up into its eyes. You could see like the detailing in the wings. And so I wouldn't have been able to see anything like that with the lenses that I have. The closest I would have been able to get to it was, you know, it would have been this big in the picture. So yeah, I was really impressed with it. It's super easy to use as well. I think macro is incredible because it opens up this new universe. You know, as you walk around, you don't really think too much about what things look like up close, but when you do get up close, there's like, yeah, this whole galaxy happening in there. Like you see like the parts of the leaves or the parts of the flowers. So this is really fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this.